Welcome to the Explainer. All right, today we are tackling something we all do, but maybe don't understand nearly enough. Sleep. We're going to unlock its power, dive into the incredible science of what's happening when we're snoozing, and, well, what happens when we're not. And trust me, the consequences are pretty devastating. I mean, think about it. Why on earth do we spend a third of our lives basically helpless? From an evolutionary perspective, it makes zero sense. You're not finding food, you're not meeting anyone, and you're a sitting duck for predators. So why do we do it? Why does literally every animal species we've ever studied do it? It's one of biology's biggest, most fascinating mysteries. For the longest time, we kind of just thought of sleep as, the brain and body shutting down for a bit, just resting. But it turns out that's completely wrong. The science is crystal clear now. Sleep is our life support system. It's the single most effective thing you can do every single day to reset your brain and your body. It's like this incredible health elixir we get to drink every single night. All right, so what's the big deal? What really happens when you pull an all-nighter, or even just cut your sleep short for a couple of nights? Let's start with your brain, the command center. And let me tell you, the damage is, well, it's fast and it's big. Okay, this is fascinating. Your memory has 3 basic steps. Learn it, save it, and secure it. And sleep is crucial for this. Think of your brain's hippocampus like a temporary email inbox. Before you learn, a good night's sleep gets that inbox ready and cleared out for new info. But then, after you learn, deep sleep, that's your non-REM sleep, is what actually hits the save button. It takes those new files from the temporary inbox and moves them to the long-term hard drive of your cortex. If you don't sleep, well, that whole process just grinds to a halt. And here's what that looks like in the real world. Pull just one all-nighter, and your ability to make new memories the next day drops by a whopping 40%. 40! To put that in perspective, if you're studying for an exam, that's literally the difference between getting an A and failing, just from one bad night. It's not just your memory either. A lack of sleep completely messes with your emotions. Your amygdala, that's the emotional hot button center of your brain, it becomes 60% more reactive. Meanwhile, the rational part of your brain that's supposed to calm it down, it pretty much goes offline. So what you're left with is all emotional gas pedal and basically no brake. It's why we get so irritable and irrational when we're tired. And check this out. This might be one of the most important things sleep does. It's basically a power washing service for your brain. See, all day long, as your brain cells are working hard, they produce all this metabolic gunk, this waste. And at night, during deep sleep, this incredible thing called the glymphatic system kicks into high gear and flushes it all out. And that includes a really nasty toxic protein called beta amyloid, which, well, you might have heard of it. Yeah, and this is why that power wash is so critical. Just one night of bad sleep, and scientists can measure a 25 to 30% spike in that beta amyloid protein. Now, over time, that buildup is heavily linked to Alzheimer's disease. And what's really scary is that it creates this awful, vicious cycle. The toxins build up, which then damages the parts of your brain that help you get that deep sleep in the first place. So it just gets worse and worse. Okay, but it's not just your brain, not by a long shot. The damage from not sleeping enough wages a full-on war on, well, pretty much every part of your physical health. Let's talk about your immune system. This one is just shocking. Get only 4 hours of sleep for just one night, and you'll see a 70% drop in your natural killer cells. And these cells are like the secret service agents of your immune system. They are critical for seeking out and destroying dangerous things like cancer cells. That's a massive hit to your body's defenses, and it happens scarily fast. In your heart? Oh yeah, it takes a beating too. The data here couldn't be clearer. If you're over 45 and you consistently sleep less than 6 hours a night, your risk of having a heart attack or stroke goes up by 200%. 200%. When it comes to your heart, sleep is just not something you can negotiate with. In fact, the link between disrupting your sleep and cancer is now so strong that the World Health Organization has officially classified any kind of nighttime shift work as a probable carcinogen. Think about that. It's in the same danger category as other things we know are bad for us, all because of how badly it messes with our body's natural rhythm. So, why is this happening to so many of us? Well, besides the obvious things like shift work, a lot of us are actually sabotaging our own rest every single night, probably without even realizing it. Let's name the culprits. First up, our old friend caffeine. Here's the deal. Caffeine has a half-life of about 6 hours. That means if you drink a cup of coffee at noon, half of that caffeine is still in your system at 6 p.m. But it also has a quarter life of 12 hours. So by midnight, a quarter of that caffeine is still floating around in your brain. It's literally like tucking yourself into bed and then chugging a quarter of an espresso. You just wouldn't do it, right? Okay, what about alcohol? That nightcap to help you relax? This is probably the most misunderstood drug when it comes to sleep. Look, alcohol is a sedative, and sedation is not sleep. They are not the same thing. Sure, it might knock you out, but it absolutely demolishes the quality of your sleep. It fragments it, causing you to wake up throughout the night, and it's one of the most powerful suppressors of REM dream sleep, which we desperately need. And then there's the big one, our screens. That blue LED light beaming out from our phones, our tablets, our laptops, it's a huge problem. Staring at that in the evening can slash your brain's release of melatonin, that's the hormone of darkness, by more than half. Basically, you're tricking your brain into thinking it's still broad daylight, which messes up the whole natural process you need to actually fall asleep. Okay, I know that all sounds pretty grim, but here's the good news. It is absolutely not a lost cause. Once you know what the enemies are, you can fight back. And there are some really simple, science-backed ways to reclaim your night and get the rest you need. So let's get practical. A few things you can start doing tonight. First, consistency is king. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every single day. Yes, even on weekends. It anchors your body's internal clock. Second, keep it cool. Your body needs to drop its temperature to fall asleep, so aim for a bedroom around 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 Celsius. Third, light. Get about 30 minutes of natural sunlight in the morning if you can. It's a powerful signal to your brain to wake up and get the clock started. And hey, don't fight who you are. If you're a night owl, work with that. Don't try to force yourself to be a morning person. Now, for anyone who really struggles with chronic insomnia, this is so important to hear. Sleeping pills are not the answer. They're no longer the first thing doctors recommend. The gold standard now is something called cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, or CBTI. It's basically a toolkit of techniques to help you retrain your brain to associate your bed with sleep, not anxiety. And the data shows it's way more effective in the long run, and it has none of the nasty side effects of pills. So, here's the bottom line. We've gotten really good at extending our lifespan, how many years we live. But the real question is, are you doing enough to extend your health span, the number of high-quality, healthy years you get to enjoy? Sleep isn't a luxury. It's not a weakness. It is, without a doubt, the most powerful, free, and democratic healthcare system we have. So the only question left is, are you going to use it?